Hello everyone, I am Mehak Ghungde from SYA Division, Department CSC AIDS. Today my topic is French Revolution of BHR, which is Basic Human Rights. Before moving towards French Revolution, let us understand what was the history which led to French Revolution. So what was the causes that led to French Revolution? First was social inequality. So second was especially Louis 16 and Marie Antoinette, which was monarchy, means which were the king and queen of the France, who spent lot of money on themselves without thinking of common peoples. In that time, there were not raining. There were loss of raining or decrease of raining, which led to rising bread price. If there were no food, then how can common people survive? Okay, they led to starvation and then anger. Then third was enlightenment ideas. Thinkers like Rousseau, Voltaire and Montesquieu inspired people to demand liberty, equality and injustice. So when they think that people are facing lots of injustice and inequality, they thought that we should encourage people to go against the monarchy and fight for themselves. So they led to awareness. Then fourth one was absolute monarchy. Means King Louis XVI ruled with absolute power, ignoring the people's need. Means King Louis XVI was the king when French Revolution was began. The he was very bad king. Means like he was not supporting the country's people. Means they were not they were not giving any development to their country, which also led to French Revolution. Then major events of the French Revolution. In French Revolution was started 1789, means in this year the revolution begins. Means Estates General Meeting. The third states break away and forms the National Assembly. Like the third state had broken away. Third state means common peoples who had broken away from the estates general because they were being ignored and outvoted, and second estates by the first and second estates. So they declared themselves a national assembly representing the people of France. On June 20, 1789, they found their meeting hall locked by royal order. So in when they thought to gather at one place and do the meeting, the hall which was uh, which was decided to gather was locked by royal order. So they moved to a nearby indoor tennis court and made a powerful promise. Means like the oath was they swore not to separate and to continue meeting until they had created a new constitution for France. So this was the constitution. This was the oath that was taken by the third estates, which was common people. And on July 14, 1789, storming of the Bastille happened. Means storming of the Bastille was one of the most iconic and important events. It symbolized the people's revolt against the king's absolute power. Bastille was uh, a large prison which held weapons and gunpowder, which holds the king's tyranny, which was symbol of the king's tyranny and unfair rule. So the common people directly stormed of the Bastille, and which was a symbol of royal tyranny falls. So in August 1789, Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, Core Human Rights adopted. In August, they actually declared rights of man's and of the citizens, which was core human rights. So in 1791, constitutional monarchy means France adopts its first constitution limiting the king's powers. tensions rise as the royal family tries to flee. When this all were happening, the royal family, which was King Louis and Queen Anne Marie Antoinette, tried to fly to Venice. Then in 1792 and 1793, radical phase and republic started. Means monarchy abolished. France declared a republic. Means monarchy abolished means was King Louis, who was ruling France, was executed in January 1793 and Queen Marie Antoinette executed months later. Means after King Louis XVI executed, Queen Marie Antoinette was executed, and it was the end of their monarchy. 1793 to 1794, the Reign of Terror, led by Robespierre and the Committee of Public Safety. Over 70,000 people executed, including revolutionaries. So ends with Robespierre's own execution in 1794. In 1793 to 1794, the Reign of Terror started, which was led by Robespierre, one of the people of France, and the Committee of Public Safety, in which over 17,000 people was executed, including who were supporting the revolution. Okay, so it was the end of Robespierre's, which led to his own execution in 1794. Then in 1795 to 1799, the Directory, new government formed, weak and corrupt. Means new government was formed in 1795 between 1799. Okay, but it was struggling with internal revolts, like they were not satisfied with opposite party or there were conflicts between them, so it was very weak and corrupted. So after this 1799, Napoleon takes over. Napoleon Bonaparte, a military general, seizes powers in coup d'état, marks the end of the French Revolution and the beginning of the Napoleon era. Means Napoleon Bonaparte led the France and which end the French Revolution and beginning of the Napoleonic era. So what was the impact of French Revolution? What do you think? What was happening? What have happened? So end of absolute monarchy in France. Means after French Revolution end of absolute monarchy means leading of or ruling of king and queens were absolutely ended. After this, rise of secularism and modern democratic ideals. Then third, spread of nationalism and human rights movements across Europe. Fourth one, inspired revolutions in Haiti, Latin America and beyond. So this was the impact of French Revolution. Some of the interesting facts after French Revolution, the slogan of the revolution was liberty, equality and fraternity. Means it became a powerful rallying cry for human rights across the world. It was ahead of its time. The idea of rights for all men, though initially limited to property owning males, was revolutionary. Then Olympia de Gaulle, a female activist, wrote the Declaration of the Rights of Human and the Female Citizen to protest the exclusion of women, one of the earliest feminist rights documents. So this was the interesting facts regarding French Revolution. I hope you understand it, and thank you for listening. Thank you.